What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is April the 25th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, GDP just came out. Very bad data. So 1.6 versus the 2.5 forecast, as well as initial jobless claims came in a little bit lower than anticipated. So the futures are bleeding. And so again, I think that's kind of anticipated because the Fed previously did say that they're going to be watching the data, and GDP was one of the two this week that really they're going to be watching. So in essence, it's not the best kind of scenario. And aside from that, even before this data did come out, you did have the market selling off as a byproduct of good old Facebook. So they did unveil their earnings. Wasn't all that bad in my opinion, but the market is taking it as a very big negative. But aside from that, I'll talk all about that in a second. Fear and greed index is at 40. So people's appetite for risk is kind of similar to what it was yesterday. So no doubtably, a lot of people will be waiting for PCE numbers to come out tomorrow, as well as after hours today, a lot of companies unveiling their earnings, such as Microsoft, Google, and I don't know if Roku even counts, or Intel. So let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think that Microsoft is going to save the day essentially, or is it just going to bleed so much more? But getting right to it though, SOFI. No actual news so far this morning. SEC filings, there was a couple that was submitted. And again, anytime any company unveils any SEC filings after hours, it usually has a level of sketchiness. But more specifically, this Form 4 was submitted outside of the other one. So there was an 8K at 511, a Form 4 at 537, which was a corporation. And then at 749, this one right here was Anthony Noto. So it does signal that he did sell out right here his actual Series 1 redeemable preferred stock. So this obviously could be interpreted as a negative. So that's probably why they did submit it even after the after hours is open. On a positive note, it does show that he didn't sell any of the common stock associated to the whole redeemable conversion, but still, in essence, this could be misinterpreted. Luckily enough, this was posted on Twitter by 𝗪𝗧, if I'm saying that right. So on April 22nd, 2024, SOFI Technologies notified holders of its Series 1 redeemable preferred stock that in accordance with the company's amended and restated certificate of incorporation, it intends to redeem all of the 3.2 million shares of Series 1 preferred stock outstanding on May 29th, 2024. So in my opinion, this was scheduled, nothing really crazy, no reason to sell nor buy SOFI as a byproduct of that. So that's just my own interpretation, of course. You guys might disagree and do whatever floats your boat. Moving on though, right now with it at $7.44, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So 775 was going to be that next strong target that SOFI needed to get above, especially leading into their earnings. But of course, GDP came out and many other things. So it is going to be pulling it down. I am looking at the 1 day chart right here. So just to quickly move over to the 4 hour, just to give you a good overview of some of the smaller support and resistance points. So with it at, like I said, 742, it is trading between this R1 and this R2. So you'll want to watch for it to get back above this 745. And then today, just watch for this 734 to hold. But no doubtably, as I even said a couple of videos ago, there is that wall starting to be formed at 750. So shorts will probably try to suppress it and keep it below 750 leading into the earnings. So kind of crazy stuff. And then Meta. So Meta is bleeding. That is because of their earnings. And like I kind of signaled, it's not all that bad. So you did have them beat on a lot of their key metrics. They just gave bad future guidance. And 2024 has been relentless. So I've indicated that in the past. Any company that is going to be diluting, it gets punished massively. Same goes for if any company gives or fails to give good future guidance, they get punished. And so that is exactly what is happening with Meta. And plus they did state that in Q2, they're going to have massive expenses because they're investing a lot in AI. So I don't know if that's maybe a precursor that AI is kind of popped and that it's done, because the whole metaverse, when they invested a lot of money in that, Clearly that didn't really amount to anything. And right now, if you're looking at trading Meta with it at $416 and change, I'll give you a quick overview of that. So right now it is trading between this R1 and the R2. So obviously it's pulled back below the 4 hour and the 1 day. So 427 is going to be that next strong resistance. So potentially value investors might cause it to get back into this R2 to this R3, because like I said, people looking at this information right here might not see it as all bad. So again, that's something to kind of consider. American Airlines is up because of their earnings right here. So if you are looking at trading it with at $14.42, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So $4.19 will be the strong support, and then $15.09 will be the next strong resistance. I don't anticipate the pivot being touched. If GDP was positive, then yes, I would have said that most likely we'll be transitioning to this pivot to this R1. But all in all, the market is bleeding right now. And then a couple more. So Poet Technologies, that is up slightly, 7.89%. Interesting stock though, because there's been actually no fundamental reason why it did go up today, nor even yesterday. Because yesterday it did go up 44.3%. No SEC filings, nothing along those lines to really justify anything. So it is one of those weird mysteries in the market. And if you are looking at trading it though, so with that $2.44, just watch for this 263 to kind of be the next resistance slash target, and then vice versa. As you can kind of see, I'm just looking at the 1 week chart right here because it is just moved up very fast. So just looking at the 1 day, you'll want to watch for this $1.76 and so forth to hold. So kind of an interesting stock. I'd be very cautious about this because even looking right here, it has been on a downtrend and then randomly it just goes up based off of no fundamental news. Well, to be fully fair, this SEC filing that did come out on the 17th was the driving factor that at least drew attention to it. But normally that only happens for maybe 1 day, not kind of continuous and consecutive days like this. But still, moving on. So this one ticker is CYCC. And actually, my apologies. What I'll do is I'll go back over to Poet and I'll give you a overview of what they do, just in case you don't know, because that one I didn't actually know. So it is a Canadian company, semiconductors, and this is what they do. Going back to this company right here. So it is bleeding, and this is because of dilution. So again, like I said, 2024 is relentless. And plus, aside from that, this company clearly isn't managed all that well, just looking at the seasonality. But this is what they do, based out of the States, biotech company. And this is what they just came out with. And so a lot of dilution, and yeah, it kind of just, I was looking tentatively at their just balance sheet. And in my opinion, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg on potential dilution as well. But that's just my own opinion, of course, not a financial advisor. With it at $1.87, it is right above this S1. So you'll want to watch for this $1.86 to hold, because if not, then it's going to be heading to the $1.50 range, which coincidentally is roughly that 52-week low for this company right here. So let me know your thoughts on that. And as I've been doing over the last couple pre-market videos, just going over what AI sees as a buy. So far right now, IBM is saying for it to short IBM. And similar to what I've been doing yesterday, so just obviously I'm not going to go through the reasons why, but you guys can read it. So IBM, they're saying just to short it. Ticker is NOW. So ServiceNow, it's saying to buy as a long, CMG, so long position, QS to short, and BHP. So BHP strategic for blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that one's a long. So that's what AI is seeing as buys and sells today. So it's going to be a crazy day, no doubtably. You do see Amazon already selling off slightly. Same with NVDA. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting day. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, take advantage of some free shares, and that is with Moomoo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 added, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the Mag 7. So a pretty kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.